The first speaker for the day is Abhay Udeshi. Abhay needs no introduction as he's a well-known personality in Castor business and is chairman of Ishedu, better known to everyone as Jayant Oils. He is also a past president of ICOA and chairs the Castor Council of C. Over to you, Abhayji. It's all yours.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Atulji. Yes. Dear friends, again, a very good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to all as per the respective time zones. Thank you for taking out the time from your busy schedules. We are living in an unprecedented times where virtual is a new reality. We are in the midst of a combined global, very global, perhaps the most global with respect to health, economic, and social crisis. And it is most severe so far since World War II, creating extraordinary uncertainty. The recovery will be slow and the crisis will have a long-lasting effect, disproportionately affecting the most vulnerable people. With about 8.5 million cases so far, and with deaths of about 450,000 people globally, both these numbers are likely to be significantly underestimated. We are facing unprecedented crisis. Next slide, please. On the economic front, according to various reports, a 6% decline in global GDP is foreseen in 2020, is by far larger we have seen during the past 60 years. Hundreds of millions are unemployed already, and assuming that no second wave of the pandemic arises going forward. Next slide, please. If there is the second hit, the projections are worst with the GDP decline to over 7.5%, and then we would be looking at more unemployment, say another 40 million more. Global trade volumes, which were already stagnating before the crisis, we are now expecting contraction in the trade by about 10% during 2020. Next slide, please. Many governments in different parts of the world have taken steps to curtail COVID-19 spread by the lockdown of various degrees, depending upon the wisdom and guidance provided by experts. For India, it was first life during the first lockdown and then livelihood, where we slowly began some economic activities. As it stands today, we are still in certain parts, like the commercial capital of India, Mumbai, where most offices are still shut as our lifeline. The public transport, railways are closed for the common man. I think the government policies across the world should foster more resilient, inclusive, and sustainable growth, keeping the air pollution and climate change challenges for environment improvements with low carbon emissions as a priority. No country can counter the pandemic alone. We need to control the virus. So long as it is existing anywhere in the world, the threat will persist. Interdependence with global ambition and global vision is the key to having global growth. We all owe our deep gratitude to the health workers who have been at the forefront in this period of crisis. Next slide, please. We, in our world of Castor, have a very important role to play, as Castor is one such important product that leaves a positive impact on the environment in different ways. Being a renewable resource, non-food chain product, so versatile by its application, is a priority choice of many industrial consumers. We must keep the good work going across the globe. Next slide, please. Let me update on all the crop numbers. AgriWatch has completed their final round of survey and revised the numbers to 1.962 million tons from the first round of about 2.036 million metric tons, but the change is considered insignificant. During the current season, the arrival in the first 5 months have been about 225,000 tons compared to about 430,000 tons during the year 2019, a drop of about 49%. Though the arrivals were primarily affected by the lockdown and the constrained activity thereafter, I believe the fall in arrivals is also because of the low price levels. At the current prices, many farmers have preferred to store castor seeds rather than sell them. With the estimates of current demand and supply position, I believe the prices will remain range-bound without any trigger of news. That trigger could be provided by the farmers themselves when we get the current year sowing numbers. I would, however, not hazard a guess due to the enigmatic nature of both castor and the castor farmers that I suspect it would be substantially lower than the previous year. So my friends, we are in testing times. The consumption of castor oil is likely to drop, with a large portion finding its way in the auto industry, which is not at all doing well. Plastics and polymers, lubricants, paints, and other areas likely to be severely gripped by the recession during the current year. To make matters worse, crude oil has seen its lowest price in its known history, adding an element of competitive pressures. This is the first year since inception where automobile industry leaders had zero sales in India in the month of April 2020. The figures from Europe reveal an 85% drop in automobile sales in the first few months of COVID-19. Fortunately, castor oil, being versatile, finds application across other industries like pharma, cosmetics, and healthcare, where the demand is not affected so severely and may have pockets where the demand can and will grow. My take is that the overall consumption of castor oil could be lower by 20%, with the consumers approaching the season with low inventory, but with attractive low prices and assuming not a very encouraging sowing numbers. We are sure that this would prompt some of the end users to fill up their pipelines. I would thus predict the overall demand exports of castor oil and derivatives from India could be 10% lower than that of last year. I will leave all the statistical details to my other speaker panelists in their presentations. Despite the gloomy outlook in the short term, I remain positive as ever on the longer term horizon. This confidence is due to the faith I have in the infallible spirit of mankind and ability to find innovative solutions. Take today, for example. Is it not ironically that we are zooming all over the world in a lockdown? Next slide, please. I would like to appreciate Dr. B.V. Mehta's initiative in organizing this virtual meeting in this testing times. And I'm pleased to learn that we are today more than 350 participants. I'm sure all of you will have a wonderful time at this webinar. Thank you for your patient hearing.
Thank you, Abhayji, for those wonderful words and positive words. I'm sure this too shall pass.
Thank you.